that the environment in small college is a Windows environment. And I personally am very used to using Linux environment. And so jumping out of an environment where I have, my favorite editors, my favorite compilers, and going to an environment where you've got a different program for every compiler, and you're using a different version of a command line. It just kind of throws you off because you're not in your home environment.
Our general workflow could have been better. We were coding in Notepad++.
Yes.
Then we opened the command prompt and compiled. So if you had any errors, you can went back to Notepad++. But if it compiled correctly, we would then go to the website, copy paste the sample input into command line, and then run the program.
We had to do kind of a back and forth thing.
Yeah. If we could have gotten file pipeline.
Yeah. Okay, well let's go on to a more positive note of great memories from the season. Mine is definitely beating all you three's pantses for Smash Bros. The night before. That was great. I kicked their butts. But as far as programming goes, I want to say that on tape, that I'm much better at Super Smash Bros. Than any of them.
I'm sure that will take you forward.
Oh, it will. Anyway, but as far as programming goes, I don't really have a specific memory. I just enjoy programming teams so much. Every practice is the best practice. It's just a lot of fun hanging out with these guys. And I just love being part of it. It's great. So, what's your favorite? Is it me beating you? Is that your favorite moment?
I really enjoyed that. I don't know. I think my favorite moment was watching you squirm when they put on the flag to see if you're like, oh, is he?
As far as programming goes.
I don't know. I think it was really nice for the first time. Like, this is my first year competing, my first year sitting out the programming team, and kind of realizing how much of what we do in class carries on to things like this. You're sitting in class and you're kind of thinking a lot of times, I'm sure I'll use this someday, but I'm not exactly sure what I'll ever use this for. And you see a lot of those things kind of pop up in workplaces when you're doing these things. Little things that, you just kind of were memorizing something quick for a test. You realize actually it does make a big difference when you're trying to do this. A lot of things like in 245, I know a lot of people learn the runtime stuff and like, oh, well, this is cool and everything, but it makes a big difference, You need to know before you sit down and write something what kind of runtime you're going to be looking at, because you've got 60 seconds. And so, especially at ACM, some of these test cases are ridiculous. So if you know on the front end what kind of runtime you're looking at, and you know what's going to run over, then you know right away that you should need to sit down and start thinking about that.
I would say I don't think I have a specific memory. I always enjoy just how creative some of the problems are in programming, or how creative you have to be to solve those problems. Because there are plenty of classes where you kind of, you can plug and shove, or you find the right equation, you put the numbers in, you get the answer. Programming team, with the exception of a few very simple problems with smiles, you usually have to come up with a much more clever solution, and I enjoy that aspect a lot.
I think my favorite memories this year is just actually having a feeling of knowing how to solve problems. Because last year when I came here, I had never done anything like this before, and the only programming language I knew was Java, and I didn't know that very well. And so, just even in practices last year, I would sit down and look through the problems and be like, I don't know. Maybe, no, and just, I usually maybe could find one, but that was the one they had already solved because they were so fast. So it was really nice this year to be able to sit down and actually feel useful and be like, oh, I can solve that, I can figure that out, and have the tools through writing, just writing pseudocode and writing an algorithm down. And it was really nice working with Tim this year because he had a lot of the input stuff for Python memorized, and I didn't have, and formatting and all that. And so half the time I would say, hey, I need you to read the input in like this. And he'd be like, all right. And he would sit down and give me a shell of my input and output, and then I could sit down and put my algorithm in the middle, and we'd have a working program. So that was really good memories this year from that.
Really quick, that kind of goes into the benefits of being on a team. I always think that programming team is very good for people that like computer science because it helps you learn things that you wouldn't typically learn in the classroom. Especially, I know my first year on programming team, I learned a lot just from watching the seniors, like things that you wouldn't learn in the classroom. They'd be like, oh no, this is better, and they would show you different things you can do. Like, I think I learned printf like second, third week of it, just little things like that you won't typically learn early on. It also gives you a chance to interact with other people of the same major, which is I think is very important. And also, it's really fun, so that's a benefit too. Future team goals, I think we should continue basically what we did this year of like preparing for ACM, doing more ACM problems, like the ones that Chip Dr. I brought us, like a little harder, more ACM stuff. I think that was really good. Just continue that and we'll get better at it. But I also think that it would be nice if like a week or so before we use the actual environment, or as close to the environment as we can, before the competition, because I know I never used DOS before the competition, and it's different than it's a little different. It's Windows. What are you gonna do? So I know that would be I think would be nice. But I guess we're out of time, so I just want to have everyone. Well, I guess we can all say it, but I just want to thank everyone. We had a lot of support this year, and it was without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So I guess thank you very much.
Nice job, guys.
I know.
And Levi.
Oh.
Saying Levi's not a guy?
You can take that burn any way you want, I guess. It's pretty good. Dr. Allen, how you doing?
Smiley's.
Oh, Smiley? Yeah.
Well, that's 20 or a farmer?